Hello and welcome to Be Still and to this imaginative meditation. This is based on Mark chapter 10 verses 46 to 52. Now once I've read that, we'll have a short period of silence, after which will follow this guided meditation. Then they came to Jericho. As Jesus and his disciples, together with a large crowd, were leaving the city, a blind man, Bartimaeus, which means son of Timaeus, was sitting by the roadside begging. When he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to shout, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." Many rebuked him and told him to be quiet, but he shouted all the more, "Son of David, have mercy on me." Jesus stopped and said, "Call him." So they called the blind man. "Cheer up, on your feet, he's calling you." Throwing his cloak aside, he jumped to his feet and came to Jesus. "What do you want me to do for you?" Jesus asked him. The blind man said, "Rabbi, I want to see." "Go," said Jesus. "Your faith has healed you." Immediately he received his sight and followed Jesus along the road. I invite you to imagine that you are sitting on the edge of a dusty road. As you're entering into the experience of a blind man, your sense of sight is limited, but your other senses are on high alert. You can feel the still heat in the air, the occasional movement in the air as people walk past. You sense the hard, rocky ground underneath you, the dusty surface of the road if you reach down to touch it. Take a moment to imagine the heat, the air, the way the road feels underneath you. You can smell things too. Different animals passing by on the road. A couple of sheep, perhaps, or a horse. What do they smell like? You're unfortunate to sit so near the ground where animals foul and where people with dirty feet walk past. Imagine those smells in the heat of your position, seated by the side of the road. It's your sense of hearing that really tells you what's going on. You recognise the voices of those walking this way every day. The traders pushing their carts of produce, or leading their livestock into the city to sell. The women heading for wells to fetch water. The children singing, tripping over, crying, being scolded. There's the bleating of the sheep, the noises of birds in trees above your head, the distant sounds of the city centre. Imagine hearing all these sounds from your position in the dust by the side of the road. As a blind person reduced to beg for food, you imagine all these people you hear going about their sighted lives. Imagine the emotions felt at the prospect of another day of begging, of lack of agency in your own life, of the dirt of animal and human alike making its way towards you throughout the day. Suddenly the noise grows around you. You notice that people's chatter is turning more excited. Children stop crying. There's a sense of anticipation in the air. In the distance, coming nearer to the city, you hear the sound of what you think might be thunder at first. And you're wondering if someone will help you find shelter before the storm. But you then realise that it's a great crowd of people that you can hear. You try to cry out to those around you to ask what's happening. After all, you've no idea. You may be about to be trampled by a riot of zealots or kicked out of the way by a passing Roman legion. What's happening? You cry over and over, and finally your flailing hands catch the tunic of a teenage boy who's rushed past you too close. You refuse to let go until he answers. "It's Jesus of Nazareth coming by," he answers. Then he kicks you hard to let him go. Jesus of Nazareth. You've heard of him, of course. He's been this way before, on his way between Galilee and Jerusalem. But you've only heard rumours of the man. You've not been right where he's been passing. You've caught all sorts of gossip about this rabbi from up north in all the chatter of this busy road. Some of it fantastical, like that he's like Elijah. Some intriguing, that he's a direct descendant of King David. And some hopeful, stories of people eating miraculous meals of bread and fish, rumours of healings, rumours of grace. You decide to not let this chance pass you by. As the movement of the air and the noise from the people at the front of the crowd grows, you add your voice to the commotion on the road. "Son of David, have mercy on me." You cry this out over and over, louder and louder. Women hush you. Children laugh at you. Men tell you outright to shut up. People with fine accents ask you politely to lower your voice, to not bother the master. Another, or the same perhaps, teenager kicks you. You keep shouting, "Son of David, have mercy on me," until your voice starts breaking and your throat feels sore. You begin to weep as you cry out, overwhelmed with desire just for a break, for mercy, to be noticed. Suddenly, everything comes to a halt. There's a hush through the crowd. You sense many bodies surrounding you. suddenly your arm is grabbed, and a voice in a northern accent is suddenly by your ear. "Hey, cheer up, man," a man tells you. "He's calling for you. Come on, get up." You scramble to your feet, and the other man leads you forwards until you stop. Everything is silent around you, apart from the buzzing of flies and some whimpering infants. Are you now standing before Jesus of Nazareth? What's going to happen now? Will he touch your face to heal you? Or you wonder, will he tell you to stop making so much noise? You feel a warm hand on your shoulder, and you sense a very different kind of presence. Without being able to see anything, you still have this sense of being watched, maybe even scrutinized. You wonder what he will tell you, or perhaps command you. Instead, when the Master finally speaks, you are surprised to hear just one gentle question. What do you want me to do for you? What do you want me to do for you? How does that question from Jesus make you feel? Imagine the tone of his voice. Provoking, curious, friendly. Let's just rest for a moment in that moment. Jesus speaking to you. What do you want me to do for you? Now you're no longer the blind man on the road to Jericho. You are just you, seated or standing or lying wherever you are right now. But Jesus is the same. Imagine him asking you the same question. What do you want me to do for you? Let's rest in the silence as you respond to Jesus' question for your life today, right now, as he asks you, what do you want me to do for you? May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, the rains fall soft upon your fields, and until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Amen.